I like fireman shit. Keep it simple.
Right? But I enjoy it. And I know I'm not in a firehouse that's doing 7,000 runs a year. I get that, right? And I know I'm not doing medical, right? I do fire calls. I don't do medical. So I can understand how people are getting turned off or frustrated, or they just don't enjoy it like they used to. I can understand that. And frankly, I appreciate that, right? Because, like, I don't want to do those things. Right? And even in my world of in the volunteer fire service of 600-700 runs a year, like even the nuisance calls, I'm like, another CO alarm, another smell of gas, another this, another that. Like, those calls can become a nuisance. But I still enjoy being a fireman. And I think we get caught up in the popularity of naysaying the job or talking down about it, or F this or screw that. Meanwhile, it's like, no, man, I still take great pride in it.
Still taking your time, and you're dedicating a lot.
No doubt, but anybody does on their level, right? Whether you're a 100% guy or a 20% guy in your firehouse, you're giving back what you can give back.
Correct.
My point is like, I want to focus on my enjoyment of it. Right. I want to focus on why I do it, and I do it because I need it. It's like a thrill for me. It's like that push. There's nothing better than catching that fire. Yeah, but in between all those fires, we got to do all the other shit too.
That's what keeps that machine going.
Part of it.
That's what keeps it going. And even by us, one of the projects I was doing in the other volley house was, that town's been fortunate enough, maybe one fire in the last 2 or 3 years. Small things, not like mansions going, but cars here and whatnot. So that's where we started growing out this rescue program to keep those people engaged. Because, again, they're like, well, why are we doing all this stuff? We're not a big task force. We're not a this or that. I go, yeah, but your time is valuable here. So if I can get you for 3 straight days to give you a cert that's legit and could do something down the line, isn't that more valuable than just coming here on one drill night a month and smiling and waving at each other? And the guy's like, oh. And what happens? More and more people buy into it. Now it's, hey, I wanted to do that. Yeah, come on. We'll do it next year again. We'll run it again. Well, I like the water. Sure, give me 6 months. We'll figure it out. You want to be a water tech? No problem. Build these things up. And this model, or whatever you want to call it, platform, starting to go at work, right? At work, we're just a dirty 4 and 2 in a battalion on duty. We're your old school.
A dirty 4 and 2.
We're a dirty 4 and 2, you know?
Right.
Listen, we go to fires once in a blue moon. We got a river that surrounds us where things happen on the news all the time, right? I always tell people when I'm teaching, where are you from? I go, I'm in the Bermuda Triangle of New Jersey. What do you mean? Patterson, Newark, Giant Stadium. We're right dead. We're smack in the middle.
Right.
Huh. Interesting. But now, again, going back to the cultural thing, the young guys, now it seems like the young guys are like, wait, why don't we do rescue work? Right? Why don't we go in the water? Why don't we do more of this, more of that? And now, on their own, guys that got this as a job that weren't volleys from before are interested, that are buffs, learning on their own. Like, that alone is worth its weight in gold in the long run. Because now it's not, I don't have to hold hands. Guys that are next level, they don't have to hold hands and say, hey, we got to do this water training. Now the guy's like, yeah, I'm going on my own.